Hello, welcome to today's exciting episode of the Relationship Show. On today's episode, we are looking at the DNA. This show is going to be a very interesting one. On today's episode, I'm having Mr. Austin with me. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me, and good day, our viewers.
So, what is this DNA? There are many people out there that does not know the full meaning of this DNA.
Okay, DNA is the oxyribonucleic acid, popularly referred to as DNA.
Okay.
Actually, it's a molecule that carries a genetic information on the development of most organisms.
Okay.
It is hereditary.
Hereditary.
Yes.
Okay.
And it can be used to ascertain the root or origin of an organism.
Okay. Origin of an organism. Okay. What is this organism?
Okay, when we talk of organisms, we are looking at living things.
There is a new life.
Yes,
Okay.
precisely as it concerns human being.
Human being. Okay.
Because beyond human being, there are other things that are referred to as organisms.
Okay.
But the popular use of the word DNA is
Okay.
in relation to human beings now.
Human beings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So in human being, you have everyone has DNA, which can be used to ascertain the root or origin of that human being.
That human being. Okay.
Yeah. It can as well be used to determine the paternity or maternity,
Or maternity.
of that particular human
being. Okay.
To be able to establish which male spermatozoa is responsible for the fertilization of the egg
Okay.
of the woman.
Oh.
Therefore,
Okay.
where, for instance, there is a contention as to the paternity of a person,
A child. Okay.
the DNA test can be used to prove, who is responsible for the paternity. Of that particular human being.
Okay.
Beyond issue of dispute in
Yes.
relation to proving
Yes.
paternity, in the recent time we have seen persons who have subjected themselves to DNA tests to be able to determine their root.
Their roots. Okay.
For example, in the United States of America, where we have most blacks,
Yes.
believing that their root is from other continents of the world. Some of them have been able to use DNA to ascertain their root in Africa, in the Caribbean, and some other parts of the world. And
Okay.
they'll be able to know which of the countries of Africa and which tribe in Africa they are from,
Okay.
based on their...
But don't you think
DNA.
this DNA of a thing is causing more harm than good? Because imagine a child who has been used to a particular father,
Okay.
that this is my father, and suddenly something happened between the father and the mother, and DNA is being carried out, and they discover that this child is not for that particular father. Don't you think this DNA thing is
Well, I wouldn't want to see it as something that is causing any form of social disorder
Okay.
in the society.
Okay.
Because it's not something that is compulsive, meaning that you cannot compel someone to submit himself or herself to a DNA test.
Okay, I want to understand that thing, that part very well. You mean one cannot be compelled
Yes.
to do DNA test?
Yes, of course. Well, the court can make an order for a DNA test to...
What are the circumstances that will make the court make such an order?
Well, the court can make order
Okay.
where there is a dispute as
Okay.
to the paternity of a child.
Okay.
But in making that order, there are certain things that the court will have to put into consideration.
Okay.
And those things as enumerated by the court in the case of Anozia and Nani has to do with, for example, putting into consideration whether the person whose paternity is in contention is an adult or a child.
Okay.
Where is an adult, for example?
Okay.
You cannot compel an adult to submit himself or herself for a DNA test.
Okay.
It has to be with the consent of that adult, meaning that it has to be voluntary.
It has to be voluntary.
Yes.
Okay.
Because one, you must put into consideration the right to privacy of that adult, as you know, encapsulated in Section 37 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended.
Interesting.
Okay. Then, if that adult has no reason to submit himself voluntarily, yes, for that DNA test, nobody can force such an adult to undergo any DNA test.
Wow.
Because, for example, now, in the case that I just referred to,
yes, the Anozia case.
Yes, you cannot imagine a situation where a 57-year-old man will be asked to submit himself for DNA test to ascertain who is responsible
the paternity
for his paternity.
First
of all, he's already a father who should not be looking for a father. And he never grew up with the mentality that he does not have a father. You understand? Wow. It's a matter of, for me, a busybody coming to interfere with a smooth family, relationship that is ongoing, to begin to make claims that he is responsible for the paternity of the child, that particular man now in issue. Do you understand? You cannot force such a man to submit himself for DNA.
But we have heard about cases whereby the woman is cheating on the man. The man might not even be aware that the wife is cheating. But during quarrel, during misunderstanding, the woman can just say it. Do you think these children are yours? They are not yours. Like, I have an example of the story they told us about behind the camera of a woman. She was working in a particular organization. The husband has also an organization where the husband also works. But this woman was not working with the husband, was working with the other organization. She happened to be the secretary in that organization.
Okay.
Now, this woman was dating the boss of that organization, at the same time dating the PA to the husband in her husband organization. Yes, was dating the PA. So she and the husband were having issue, and she just said it to the husband that, do you think you are the father of this child?
Okay, it's still on the same
now point. This woman in question now, eventually the man has to drag her. Let's do the DNA test of this child. Okay. Initially she said it was quarrel, but she eventually opened up that it's my boss in the office that is responsible for this child.
Okay.
They carry out the DNA test. They discover that the boss in the office wasn't responsible. Meanwhile, this woman was even blackmailing the man that you are responsible for this pregnancy. You are responsible for this child. Collecting money from that one. Also collecting money from the husband PA. Blackmailing the husband PA that you are responsible for this child. So this woman in question was in between three men, blackmailing two men, the boss in the office and the husband PA. Eventually they did the DNA test, and the boss in the office was not responsible for the paternity of that child, before she now later confessed that is the PA to the husband. They carry out that DNA test now, and it happened that it's the PA to the husband that is responsible for the child, is the paternity. Now, does that PA has the right to claim that child? Because this woman is in question, she's legally married to the husband.
Okay, now it still boils down to the fact that there is a dispute as to the paternity of the child or children of such a marriage.
Yes.
Okay, I have given you one lap of it to say that where the person is an adult.
Okay.
You cannot compel an adult to submit himself to
DNA
test.
Okay.
Okay, but where the person is a child,
okay,
the court may make an order based on this consideration.
Okay.
The best interest of the child.
The best interest of the child. Okay.
And, as captured in the Child Right Act. Okay, if making that an order for a DNA test to prove the paternity of the child
Okay.
will be in the interest of the child, it means that the child, the persons who are laying claim
Okay.
to that child, that is
Yes.
paternally,
Yes.
will have to submit themselves for DNA
Test.
test. First of all, the law frowns at a situation where somebody interferes with marriage.
Yes, the law
marital
frowns at
relationship.
it.
Yes,
Yes.
the law frowns at it. Because
Yes.
first of all, the person who interfered
Yes.
has denied the actual husband
Okay.
his right,
Okay.
which is conjugal right. You have
Okay.
denied the person conjugal right. Consortium homini vitae.
Okay.
That there is this relationship husband and wife enjoy that
Okay.
any other person must not interfere with.
Remarkable. There is this relationship husband and wife enjoy that nobody
Should interfere
should
with.
interfere in.
And so where you have this kind of situation
Okay.
where the paternity of children of a marital relationship is in doubt,
Okay.
and you now decide to subject it to DNA test, and it's
Okay.
discovered that an outsider is responsible for it.
Okay.
It means that the man to whom the woman is lawfully married
Yes.
has a right of action
Has the right of action
against that man
against the man
for interfering
for
with,
interfering.
in as much as the law may not deny that man
Okay.
paternity of those children, because
Okay.
there is already a proof evidentially,
Evidentially.
by that DNA test
Okay.
that he is the one that is responsible biologically for the birth of those children.
Okay.
That does not mean that he will go scot-free.
Oh.
He will have to pay.
Pay.
Yes,
Wow.
for interfering with somebody's
Interfere with.
marriage. Then it equally
Can you
exposes-
enlighten us a little bit how he can be able to pay? How the law will make him
the
pay?
lawful husband of the woman
Yes.
can demand for damages.
Okay. Outside damages, can they bring in a criminal case against him?
Well, there is nothing.
Is that not a criminal
There
offense?
is nothing criminal I see in it.
So the husband can claim damages.
Yes.
Wow.
Then it equally goes further as a
Okay.
basis of the offended party applying for the dissolution of that marriage.
Of that marriage.
Because
Okay.
it is now proven that the woman, so to say, is unfaithful to her husband,
Oh.
being involved in act of adultery,
Okay.
within the continuance of the marriage.
Okay, still on DNA issue. Now, what happened? This one is so surprising to me.
Okay.
Whereby after like more than 30 years in marriage,
Yes.
you discover that the 3-4 children you have are not for you.
Yes.
What happened? Because I asked myself, this thing is tasking my reason faculty.
Okay.
Because how can 4 children your wife had for you, none of them belong to you? What could be the problem? Were you sleeping in the marriage? Not even one belonged to outsider. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone else impregnate you. What were you doing as at that time when another man was busy impregnating your wife? So this thing is tasking my reason faculty. Sincerely speaking, what could have been the problem in this scenario? Still on DNA issue.
Well, what could be responsible
Okay.
may be solely personal to the persons involved.
Okay.
For example, in the case of anorexia that
Okay.
I made reference to earlier,
Yes.
the claim of the man who was asserting paternity of the child is that at a time the husband of the woman was not able to perform sexually
Oh.
with the wife.
Okay.
Do you understand? And was not capable of getting the wife to be pregnant. And
Okay.
he knew of it and took advantage to begin to have sexual affair with
With her.
her.
took advantage
yes,
of her.
Yes, of the condition of the man.
Of the man, okay.
Yes, to begin to sleep with the woman. Another thing is that it tells you the extent to which some persons can be very unfaithful.
Yes.
Do you understand? For example, a woman who knows quite well that she's married to a man, and decides to begin to have affair
outside
with another man. It may
yes.
even be their gardener,
driver
affair. It shows that such a woman is highly unfaithful.
Before we go, what do you have to say to people who have been facing this challenge of DNA? You must take this child to go and do DNA test. There are some persons, they are not the father of a child. They are not the mother. They are not in any way related to a child. But they are threatening the biological mother of the child. Maybe sometime the father is no longer alive, is dead. But they are threatening the mother, go and do DNA test for this child. I don't think he's part of our family. What do you have to say to such people?
For me, the social effect of it can be very, very harrowing.
Okay.
Because first of all, the realization that somebody
yes.
is not the actual product of a marriage
okay.
can be very, very devastating.
Okay.
You wake up one day to realize that the children you have taken your time to train are not yours.
Okay.
You understand?
You're right.
Then, for the children too,
yes.
for them to suddenly realize that the person they have always
known as a father,
as their father, is not their true father can be as well so
can be heartbreaking.
You understand? And I don't know how those children will look at their mother too.
Seriously.
Do you understand? So it can result in breakdown
yes.
in social order in the family and even in the general society.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It can result in some persons even wanting to take their lives.
Okay.
You understand? So my advice is that we should remain very faithful to our marriages. It's very, very important that every man, every woman should remain faithful to, their marriages. If you're a man and you want to have as many women you want to have, just stay under the customary law
yes.
and marry as many women you want to marry. Then
okay.
if you're a woman, once you are married to a man, whether you are married statutorily or customarily, know that is a man for you for life. If there's any reason for you to have another man outside, make sure you dissolve the first
marriage
lawfully and go your way and begin to have whatever affairs you want to have.
You cannot be in one man roof and be cheating under the one nose. No,
yes, it's not good.
So what do you say about resemblance? Is that not enough proof for DNA, for paternity test?
No.
When a child look like a man, a particular man, is that not enough proof that is your child because both of you have the same nose? You have the same pointed nose, you have the same mouth, and you have the same eye, so is your child.
The physical look or resemblance of persons does not in any way mean that they have any
the
genetic relationship.
Connection.
That is why DNA test is very, very apt.
It's very, very apt.
You understand? Because that one has to do with the gene.
Okay.
It has to do with something that is hereditary, which goes from the origin to the person who inherits.
What if this DNA thing can be compulsory, just like BVN and NIN? Immediately after birth, just carry out the DNA and issue certificate for a child alongside with every other thing.
Then that has to be passed into law. There must be a proper legislation for that. You don't just...
It has to be passed into law. It's not automatic.
No, there must be a proper legislation for that to
So we have laws in Nigeria. This will bring us to the end of today's episode on the Relationship Show. Please do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell. You can be the first person to be notified when we upload a new video. Please put your comments. We need to hear your own opinion on this DNA issue. I guess you enjoy yourself. Thank you very much. See you next time. Same station. Bye.